Hi, welcome. In this video, I'm out here once again for service dog training with Cooper. Cooper is in the background in the crate, and I'm bringing him out. Again, the kind of focus of this exercise is to kind of take a path of encountering another, say, service dog, and just focus on relaxation. So here I have our two chairs. Enzo's here with Scrappy, and so the idea will be kind of mixing it up a little bit in terms of me sitting with Cooper being in a down, kind of mimicking. It could be a doctor's office, it could be just whatever setting where you're out in the public and you're kind of hanging out, or you have to wait somewhere and to have encountering another dog, and just getting your service dog to be just relaxed, not being engaged and focused on another dog. So this is like a socialization exercise. So again, interaction based, and so again, this is about influence. So even here, you notice Enzo will be doing the same thing, kind of nudging a little bit at times, breaking certain levels of fixation and connection to make sure that both dogs are relaxed. So just like anything, the first 30 seconds is always going to be the most challenging, right? Coming out and kind of getting settled in. So we're going to be sitting for a period. We're going to be, standing and walking around a little bit and kind of mixing it up to kind of, add to this a little bit to help to kind of layer it up, so that you have certain type of, just like anything, real life, certain situations that you encounter with another service dog. So again, I'm gonna bring out Cooper, and I'm gonna be doing this for a few minutes. The same thing, when I bring him out, I'm going to bring him to the side here. I don't want him looking and engaging with Scrappy. So I'm just going to turn him this way. Again, I have the choke chain here, so I'm just tapping, nudging a little bit. So here, this type of situation too, and again, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to turn Scrappy the opposite direction. Just nudge. So again, depending on levels of intensity, this is where, again, you want to kind of go opposite a little bit. Again, depending on the reaction of each dog. So here, I'm just tapping the leash here. This is where you always can look at the dog's body language too, to kind of assess, how intense or how fixated the dog is. So after, a few seconds here, I'm going to bring Cooper around. We're going to have Cooper in a down position here on the chair, and then Enzo, after, whenever he's ready, he's going to take his time and do the same thing as me, so there's no rush in this. So when I sit down and put Cooper into the down, he'll do the same thing over there on his side. And this is where, too, we can kind of selectively choose where the dogs are going into the down, like what side of the chair, okay, depending on how intense they are. So for this part here, he's going to have Scrappy over on his right side of the chair, and I'm going to have Cooper over here on my left side. So creating a little bit more space at first is always a good idea before bringing them closer. But again, as we do this, what we're going to kind of work out is getting both dogs closer as we do this exercise. Right here, I'm going to bring down, Cooper into the down. Now even here, when I have Cooper in the down, I'm still, active with the leash. I'm still tapping here a little bit, communicating with Cooper just to relax. Take it easy. I also have the door open over here too, so adding to more distraction. There's people working and stuff out here, so this is a great little exercise for a distraction exercise, because got a lot going on. So same thing here. So the expectation with Cooper is just to relax. He can have a certain level of awareness, right? That that Scrappy's over here and stuff, but I don't want him overly fixated. Okay, right here he's very, very relaxed. I'm still connected with the leash. So I'll nudge a little bit if needed. I'm just looking at him, kind of assessing his state of mind. And then once right here, this is perfect. So this is a great picture here. You got Scrappy over there. Now understand, if you watch the other videos of Scrappy, you can watch a whole series of them. Scrappy started off, and Enzo's done fantastic with Scrappy. He's put a lot of time and effort into bringing Scrappy into a follower role, so he's done really good. But Scrappy's a very intense German Shepherd, like police dog caliber. So he's that 1 percentile dog I talked about. So you'll still see him, you know, kind of gearing up a lot, and that's, you know, part of the developmental aspect. And Enzo, you've come a long way. Stuff good. So he's here helping me out, which is very kind of him. So this helps Scrappy. This helps Cooper. And so here, what I'm going to do here in a moment is I'm going to move a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're both going to move again a little bit. And this time, when we do this, we're going to end up here with both dogs kind of lined up in between. So we have enough space here to do it. But again, we're going to take our time. Now this is where, if you're, you know, working two dogs, if you're not sure about their reactions or how intense one might get, a little kind of hint with doing this is to have one dog out forward a little bit more, like from another dog, so they have to try to turn around, okay? Which we'll do that just to kind of demonstrate it, not to say that we need to do it, but we'll kind of do that just to kind of demonstrate how that looks. And so what'll happen here is I'm going to bring, I'll be the first to move around, and I'm going to bring Cooper here on my right side. I'm going to put him into a down, and then what Enzo's going to do is he's going to walk around a little bit too, and he's going to end up with Scrappy here. He's going to take his time, but he's going to end up out a little bit more forward. Okay, does that make sense, Enzo?
Yes, sir.
And then advocating the down as well, and then he's going to be doing the same thing. So getting really close here. It's a good way to kind of really work up. But you kind of see the structure of the exercise is we're starting with some space first, right? So and just like at first, if you need to make adjustments, right, going completely opposite, even kind of moving completely away from each other like we did, and facing opposite direction for, you know, maybe a minute or so, and then starting to move in closer. So this is all about advancing, getting closer. So here, I'm gonna move here with Cooper. I'm gonna bring him around to this side here in a moment. Cooper's doing really well. So I'm gonna bring him around. And same thing here, I bring him around, you know, Scrappy's gonna know that, you know, so he'll sense that, okay, Cooper's getting a little bit closer down. So really, really good, and that's a really good sign. You get a dog that goes really nice and prone like that, that's a good indicator that they're doing good. And so here, now here's the thing, whenever you're ready, take your time, and whenever Enzo's ready, because he's the one, understand, whenever I say, whenever someone's ready, they know, okay? This is why I always leave it up to the person, say, you know, whatever I say doesn't matter. If they know when they're ready or where they're at, so you always want to kind of leave it to the person somewhat, unless they're just starting out. But, you know, Enzo spent a lot of time here with the method, so he kind of knows when he should move and stuff. So he's going to take his time. You know, meanwhile, my focus is on Cooper. So even as you know, as Enzo's doing his thing, so right here, see, notice what I'm doing. You know, Enzo's standing up and Cooper's looking a little bit. I just tap a little bit, because my focus always needs to stay on my dog. Okay, just like Enzo's focus just, you know, remains on, you know, with Scrap. It's the same thing. You know, each of us focusing on our individual dogs. So I tap a little bit. Now when he comes around here in a moment, he's just taking his time. You know, I'm just totally focused on Cooper. So my job is to focus on him, not care about what's happening with Scrap. So it's going to bring him around in a moment. Just take your time. Because all I want from Cooper is relaxation, which he's